In today's video, we're going to talk about the big elephant in the room. Where are all the real estate deals? This is a big question that a lot of investors are having, primarily because the market is super hot and you got investors fighting over deals today. So I'm going to share with you exactly what we're doing to consistently get deals. And we're also going to talk about the exit strategies that are working the best for us right now. Coming up. What's up, everybody? It's Jamel Gibbs. Welcome to another video. Listen, in today's video, what I want to do is share with you what I feel is a very important topic to help you sustain your business as a real estate investor. We all understand that lead generation or getting deals will help you support the ongoing aspect of your real estate investing business, the growth of your real estate investing business, so to speak, right? So what I want to share with you today is something that's on a lot of people's minds, and that's where are all the real estate deals? People are having a hard time finding deals right now, and the reason they're having a hard time finding deals is because they're constantly doing the same things. So if the market changes, chances are you as a real estate investor are going to have to change with the market, change your approach to the market in order to really be able to continue making money as a real estate investor. I've done videos like this in the past, and I'll be sure to link the one video that I have in mind up at the top so you can be sure to check it out. Make sure you watch that video where I'm probably going to double down on some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about in today's video, but I'm also going to share a different aspect because we're in a different market from when I actually shot that video a little over a year ago. And I think you'll benefit from the information I'm going to cover with you today. So make sure you watch this video. But before I actually jump into the nitty gritty of the content, I want you to smash that like button right below. Make sure you share this video with some friends and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this video as well. So let's go ahead and jump right into the content. First and foremost, what I really want to talk about is what to look for in a market. And this way you can understand that, yes, there's market cycles, and we're not going to go into market cycles in this particular video, but once you understand how to look at a market, you'll see that there's money everywhere. And if the money is not exactly where you are at the moment, guess what? There's a market right next door that will allow you to make a killing. So here's the top 4 things that we look for when it comes to a market, a succeeding market or a winning market that will allow us to be able to grow a real estate business there. We're looking at population, we're looking at age, we're looking at activity, and we're looking at price. So let's talk about these 4 key pillars real quick. When it comes to population, generally speaking, if we're wholesaling real estate, we normally would want to be in a larger market or a medium-sized city. So it could be anywhere from, let's say, 200,000 people up to 1.5 million people in the MSA. MSA, for those of you who don't know, stands for Metropolitan Statistical Area. And what a metropolitan statistical area makes up is a specific city plus all the surrounding cities around that particular city. So for example, if you're in Dallas, you have Dallas and then you have Fort Worth. If you're in New York City, you have the 5 boroughs, right? You have Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Staten Island, and the Bronx. In my particular area here in North Carolina, we have Greensboro, High Point, and Winston-Salem. But around Greensboro, High Point, and Winston-Salem, which are the top 3 cities, Greensboro being the main city, Winston-Salem being the secondary city, there's Lexington, there's Burlington, there's Thomasville, there's smaller cities, Reedsville, other smaller areas that will make up the metropolitan statistical area. So generally, we want to look for a metropolitan statistical area of at least 1.5 million people. Now, the reason for that is because that will provide you with enough of a population to have enough activity moving in and out of that particular region. All right. If you go to a smaller city, there may not be enough activity to justify the market being a good market. The next thing we look for is the age of the city. So if you think about the way America was built, people originally migrated into America from the East Coast and eventually ended up on the West Coast, right? So what does that mean? That means that the cities on the east side of the country are going to be older than the cities on the west side of the country. And if you have older cities, Typically that means that you're going to ultimately have older real estate there. All right. So I'm just thinking about it logically as a real estate investor. If we think about cities on the east side of the Mississippi versus the west side of the Mississippi, chances are you'll have older properties in older cities on the east side. So we look at age being our second thing. Third, we're looking at activity. So I want to see what type of activity is taking place. How many sales are being made? The best way to get this information is by going through a realtor, but there's other software out there that will allow you to look at the market data, the market conditions, and kind of justify from there what you should do moving forward. Finally, we're looking at price, right? Now, when it comes to price, I look at price in two different ways. You have expensive cities and you have not so expensive cities, right? So if you go to San Francisco, for example, and you put San Francisco up against a city like, let's say, Detroit, are you going to find more cash buyers in Detroit, or are you going to find more cash buyers in, let's say, San Francisco? Most of you who understand real estate investing will go with Detroit. Why is that the case? The reason why you're going to find more cash buyers in Detroit versus San Francisco is primarily because of the availability of money to a particular person to be able to purchase a property given the city that they're located in. If in San Francisco, the average property is, let's say, $1 million, and in Detroit, the average property is $150,000, do you think more people can afford $1 million or $150,000? That's the way you have to look at it. More people can afford less money versus more money. So naturally, you're going to find more cash buyers and more buying activity in the lower price range market. So when you keep all of these things in the back of your mind and you put all of them into account, you have older cities with lower price points, with a lot of activity and a nice sized population. That gives you a winning market. And this is the formula that a lot of investors who are doing big numbers, they use this formula to be able to go out and do a ton of deals in these major cities. The problem is the market is so hot right now that people are overpaying for properties, literally having bidding wars on just about every single deal and leaving a lot of investors high and dry, not having anything on the plate. And if those investors, if you're one of those investors and you're struggling to find deals right now, or you don't have the same size marketing budget as some of the larger investors, you're probably thinking to yourself that you want to quit, or you're just picking up the scraps at the end of the day. But there's definitely a better way, and I'm going to explain what that better way is right now, so keep watching. Common sense will tell you that if there's too much competition in the larger markets and you can't compete with the other investors, remember when we spoke about the MSA? There's smaller surrounding cities that are just as good, if not better, than your typical large market. Recently, I did a video on two wholesale deals that we picked up in Thomasville, North Carolina. That's a smaller city outside of the main metropolitan areas where I currently live. And in addition to that, I picked up 2 additional seller finance properties from the same exact seller. Now, what I've noticed is a certain pattern that we're following right now from the most recent deals that we've done. The deals that we've recently done have been from someone that was 60 years or older who had multiple properties. We're talking about 4, maybe 5 or more properties. And in addition to that, they just didn't want to be landlords anymore because of the moratorium situation, right? So they're not collecting rent. They're getting a headache by being a landlord. They have people taking advantage of the moratorium. They're getting too old. They just don't want to be landlords anymore. So I've noticed a pattern, and they all have multiple properties. So what I've been specifically doing is using wholesaling as well as creative real estate investing to be able to get these deals and create win-win situations that works for myself as well as the motivated seller. There's a specific strategy that I created called hybrid wholesaling. And in that particular strategy, I use a multitude of creative ways to be able to provide the seller exactly what they want, to be able to create either fast cash for myself, passive income on a monthly basis, and huge profits on the back end. If you want more information on my hybrid wholesaling webinar, I literally just released it, and I'm gonna open it up to you guys watching this video. So be sure to check out the link in the description box below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this information. Check out the link up above as well, where I talk about real estate markets and how to find them. And make sure you share this video, like this video, subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell. I wanted to keep this video short and sweet, but I hope you guys benefited from it. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.